what joy does is joy has a way of lifting you above the plight of circumstance, the misfortune of circumstance, and it agrees with the positives that are actually always there. As my good sister Eunice Elliott said before, goodness is a baseline.
Mm-hmm.
It's the baseline. It's the negativity that we give attention to because it comes at random and it comes in few and we can spot it. But if we really realize that we can hang our energy on the baseline of goodness, that joy actually can be our portion more often than not. And I
Mm-hmm.
think you arrive at that by way of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
When you acknowledge the things that are working for you, the things that have worked for you, and the distance you've gone from the point of not having to having right now. Because the fact of the matter is, we actually are praying different prayers. We're praying from the point of an answered prayer, and now it's just new challenges. And so when you acknowledge it that way, you can find yourself being able to wardrobe yourself in joy
Mm-hmm.
and take on whatever come what may,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have a good time in it. um I find it to be really real. What is your definition of joy?
For me, joy is very synonymous with peace.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yes.
gratitude. I
Yes.
express gratitude. I wouldn't even know how to count it, but I find myself being
Woo!
grateful nonstop. And I'll say it out loud. It might just be my puppy came and sat next to me and I'm grateful. I love that we're affectionate. I love that I can be in my home and feel safe. So it can be, I love that this water turns on when
Yeah.
I go to the faucet. I love,
Come on. Come on.
and so it's like all the time, every day, and like I said, even just breathing just now, it's like, oh, you're getting better because your nose has been very congested. So I acknowledge when a thing is not a thing and when it is a thing. I just hired somebody to paint a space in my house, the ceilings, and
Yeah.
it's costing money. And I like to paint myself, and so I had to say, okay, I would rather not try to climb a ladder and get to the, this is going to be peace in me paying this person. Well, why did he drop the bucket of paint on the stairs that I just refinished? He had a drop cloth down, but he stepped on the drop cloth and it pulled the bucket over. And I heard the paint glue, 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 glue. Okay. And I looked over and I said, oh my. He says, well, that's why we have a drop cloth down, but I'm seeing the paint I just purchased on the cloth. And I'm seeing some of it on my floor, my hardwood floor, And this is what I took from it. You can get up latex paint with dish soap and a wet towel. So I learned that today through that experience. But guess what I knew? I knew he felt bad that had happened. I knew it was an accident. It didn't make me question his ability and talent. And I learned something for future reference is, oh, just go get some dish soap and a towel and get the paint up off the wood. So there's no reason for me to
So
have anything. Yeah.
you chose peace, you chose joy anyway, in the midst of knowing the circumstances were the circumstance, but understanding at the end of the day, there's a way of resolve. There's a way of,
And you
or
learn
or
from it.
even if it wasn't, it's just you're just,
You
it's
learn
not
from
that
it. You
serious.
learn it's not that serious, but you could think of, I didn't pay this man all this money. I just refinished these stairs. He dropped his paint. I bought the paint. It's a list of things that could have been the pop off. For what? So a lot of times I tell people I don't really believe in bad experiences. I believe you can experience things that you didn't want and you didn't desire, you didn't enjoy, but you learn from it, hopefully. Don't just let it be something and you didn't learn from it. It's like, oh, I know not to do that no more. Oh, that's so good to know. That is some
Number.
great information to have. I have a friend who I don't believe is going to listen to this podcast. But anyway, someone that she's in a deep relationship with has told her, hey, this is how I am. This how I've been. Deal with it. And I said to her, that is some great information. Well, she feels
Mm.
disappointed by that. And I'm like, girl, that is the best information you can have because you don't have to proceed with any kind of other idea or hope for that.
Yeah.
He gave you some really great
You have
information,
clarity. You have clarity. Take the
but she didn't
information
have
and move
clarity.
accordingly.
She didn't have the clarity. And I thought, what else this person got to tell you? They're not changing. They're not interested in changing. They see that you have a challenge with what's the problem is. And they said, oh, well,
She didn't
brother.
accept clarity. Clarity was presented to her, but she didn't accept it.
But how many
And
people don't choose joy because they're not accepting the clarity of the situation. I think you have a harder time choosing joy when you're still trying to make it be something that it ain't. Accept it for what it is. Oh, this ain't going to be that. That is so good to know. Versus, I'm unsure, I'm anxious. Well, maybe next week, maybe tomorrow, maybe if I change, maybe if I do that. Oh, that is so good to know. I don't have to do that no more. That's good. I
Mm,
like that. I'm blessed. I'm choosing
mm.
joy. Now, that's also why I ain't never got no man. But that's not the topic for today. But once you tell me and show me this is it, baby, you
Beautiful
ain't got
people
to
that are
tell me
listening.
twice. You ain't got to
If you
tell me
have
twice.
an educated man who loves the
Tell
Lord,
me.
loves his family, is single, doesn't love his family that he's
I
made.
was
I'm
gonna
talking about the
say.
family that he comes from. Send
No,
him this way to
no,
a Eunice
child.
Elliott.
I'm busy. I'm booked and busy. Not this way, not this season.
Sure. The seasons are changing, but our joy can remain. I
It's a choice. I wake up and choose it, right? I wake up and I think of my day.
mm,
What do I want to get done today? How do I want to move about the day? What challenges are probably that I can see coming up based on a phone call, an email, or meeting? How am I going to show up in that moment? I decide that before I get out the bed.
yeah.
And then I live up to my expectation of myself for the intention that I set before I even started.
So I have a song called Joy in the Battle. By the way, do you like my hat? Do you
I
notice I
do
rock a
like your
joy
hat. It
hat?
doesn't say hope, it says joy.
It says Joy Today. It's a part of the Major Hope line, but it's just a prototype. But the Hope hats you can get on my website, majorhopefoundation.org. And you can get the Hope Trucker hats. But these, it's funny because a lot of people ask me where they can get this one. I'm like, no, you can't. You can't get these.
It's just
These
the
are just
prototype.
these are
One of
ones
one.
of one.
Ones of one.
Ah, yes. And I rocked them actually during the campaign, the Harris campaign, just in theme. It was wild because I have a song called Joy in the Battle that was my single prior to this new single, I Prayed for You, that is seeming to get a lot of love.
Mm-hmm.
It just went to radio, and radio's embracing it. People are digging my cover art for it and all that good stuff. So I'm really excited. I Prayed for You is a new hope anthem. But before that released, we had Joy in the Battle, and the message is simple. It says, "I'm just a man who's lost some things and left with memories. I'm just a man who's growing older. I've made some friends along the way, and I've made some enemies, but I pray they're all good in their soul. I've seen the reasons and the meanings and the seasons change. I've seen the magic come and go. I fell in love with shiny things I thought would warm me up. I felt the heat when it turned cold. All over me, they want my peace, but they won't get it. I hear the devil steady knocking at my door. But I'm just a man who's lost some things and left with memories. Still, I believe there's so much more. Here's the part, Eunice. I got joy in the battle, joy in my victory. I keep my eyes to the heavens so my joy never slips from me. Joy in the battle, joy on this journey set for me. Oh, and when they see me coming, they gonna see I got this joy all over me. And those are bars of how to really do this life thing, because the wind will blow, the storm will storm, the annoying will annoying, but joy is there for the choosing in all of it. Because every storm runs out of rain. Every storm runs out of